I'm looking at rupee chests that I didn't know were rupee chests, but they're pointless because I have all the rupees I need. And hello, rhinoceros horned Stalfos. And all of your screeches sound the same, skeleton creatures. Guess I can just shield attack you. Now you're not gonna reassemble yourself, are you? You probably are. Wonder if I could bomb them. Most likely, but I'm not gonna try it because I'm too lazy. Yep, figured you would reassemble. Well... Am I supposed to defeat you? Oh, darn it, I probably am. Gosh, I remember this now. I mean, one of the big problems that I had with this dungeon is that I had to go and get bombs from outside the dungeon to complete it, because I wasn't getting any bomb drops within the dungeon, and there were enemies that required you to use bombs to defeat them. And at that time, Barnes' Bomb Shop, I think, was closed. Even though it's supposed to be open 24 hours a day, I think. So I don't really know if I'm remembering that story correctly, but I definitely had to wait like an entire half-night cycle to make sure that I could buy more bombs, for whatever reason. And it was just a hassle, having to leave the dungeon and come back into it. Okay, I've been there. Let's go this way. Let's go through the right doors this time. And hopefully we're coming up pretty close to the next Poe. Winnie the Poe. Whiny the Poe. This room is fascinating to me because I don't get it. It's not a difficult room. I'm not even sure if it's a puzzle. Because I'm pretty sure all you have to do is light this torch. Maybe you don't light just that torch. Maybe just light all the torches. Okay. Well, apparently I have not figured out the puzzle yet, but... The puzzle is a lot simpler than it seems like it should be. Whatever the puzzle is. That door just open? I guess the puzzle is probably just that you're supposed to light the correct torch. That's probably it. I just don't happen to know what it is, and apparently you can't light torches while there are enemies in the room, because that makes sense. I'm just gonna go clackety-clack on my controller. Gosh. So none of these are the right one. That's just great to know. Are these skeleton models just the same as the one that I just fought, except smaller? Did they not even make a separate model for the skeleton Stalfos here? Okay, how about this? Darn it all! Yeah, I'm not understanding this room. It is kind of a dumb room. Is that all I was supposed to do? Okay. Just light the correct 2 torches, I guess, is the puzzle. And then all the wrong choices send you into a furious rampage. But the thing about this room is that it seems like it has potential to be so much more than it is. With this setup of torches and this big statue that seems like it would be of great importance, but just isn't. This looks a lot like the statue in the Spirit Temple in Ocarina of Time, with the whole coiling snake and the hands that are outstretched and just the general kind of Buddhist pose. But this statue has no relevance to anything, besides maybe some lore. Like, it's not a part of the dungeon, really, it's just a background detail. And someone put all that effort into making that background detail that you don't even really look at. This looks an awful lot like a room where a Poe soul would be. One of these lights on the wall is going to be it. Yeah, there you are. Hello, guy with no face. And I forgot about this. I forgot that there's actually a mini-game for the Poe souls. a lot like there is in the Forest Temple in Ocarina of Time. I knew it didn't happen in the main room, and I just forgot that it happens with whichever the last one you find is. Darn it. Okay, we're gonna have to go another round. This time we're not using arrows, though. Do you mind all staying in one place so that I don't have to keep looping around to figure out which one of you is which? There you are. It'd be easier if all of you were on the screen at once, but I guess that would make this game less addicting. Because apparently, my brother told me about this article about Angry Birds a long time ago, and how it was set up. I don't know if it was strategically or if it was just by accident, but it was set up to be the most addicting game possible, and that's why Angry Birds caught on so much and is so popular. Just because of all the minor design decisions that make it, like, more appealing to people to keep playing. For example, the fact that you can't actually see... Well, by default, you can't actually see the tower whenever you're flinging the birds. Like the Tower of Blocks. It's off-screen. You get to see it before you fling the bird, but it's still off-screen whenever you actually do. And just that adds some element of challenge to it that makes it more addicting. Like, if you could always see the tower and the birds at the same time, then it wouldn't be as interesting. And I don't know what the science to that is, but there is some kind of science to it. Which is just fascinating, just some kind of psychology. I mean, I would imagine that generally speaking, games that have a moving camera are more interesting than the ones that don't, or at least the ones that, well, if you look at a game like Knit Stories, that game doesn't have a moving camera, it just scrolls to the next screen over. You always look at a still shot, and that makes it more atmospheric, but still the scenery keeps changing. It's not like the game just has no scenery. Okay, what I wanted to do was go this way. Just going around in a big circle here, like dogs do before they fall asleep. Though hopefully my audience is not falling asleep. The 100 of you that there are, probably. Not that I'm not thankful for that, just... I mean, I do wish that these videos got more views, but at the same time, like, it is discouraging that... well, it's discouraging that these videos don't always get monetized. Specifically these Twilight Princess videos, and that's part of the reason that I haven't been motivated as much to record them. Like, just part of the reason that I haven't been in the mood for this game is just because if YouTube recognizes any cutscene from this game, then whatever video that the cutscene is in doesn't get monetized at all. Even if the cutscene only lasts like 20 seconds, the entire 20-minute video won't have any ads. Ad revenue, at least not for me, but maybe for Nintendo. I don't know, I just think the whole Let's Playing copyright, like, the copyright laws surrounding Let's Plays are such a gray area, and I wish that they weren't. Oh yeah, I remember this. I want to say that it's possible to just have this room set to its very lowest point and then you can still reach everything. I'm not sure if that's actually true. I do think... trying to remember exactly what... Like, I figured out a fast way through this room and I can't remember what it was. This seems good. Maybe I just dropped down and that's what my strategy was. Yeah, this looks useful. There we go. I want to say that's the only important thing in this room, so I'm just gonna go to the bottom now and ignore the rest. That is not the bottom. That is up. Curse this medieval elevator. Oh, it was already at its lowest point, okay. Or at least I think it was. That's interesting. It's fascinating to think about the, like, the history of technology in Hyrule, and how, for some reason in Skyward Sword, if you go into the distant past, everything is more futuristic than it is in the distant future. And now I'm getting attacked by more invisible rodents, that's just great. Hey, why do they call it that? Call it what? Ratatouille. Ratatouille doesn't sound delicious. I don't know that whole quote. Every time I try to quote that line, I always get mixed up somewhere, because I get caught in this endless loop. That's something that I got into with a certain part of A Bug's Life as well. Like, just trying to quote part of that movie. Specifically the part with, Flick saying that he can find city bugs. And I'm forgetting now exactly what the lines are, but I'm just recalling that I always got that part. Just... I'm sure I could think of it if I just thought hard enough. But then again, I don't want to just spend all this time silently wandering about my commentary and not getting anywhere with it. Keeping people waiting. Sorry to keep you waiting! I'm just thinking, like, whenever they say, a Vereveretus of Hopper and his gang. Ludicrous, who would do a crazy thing like that? I'll volunteer, I'd be very happy to volunteer. Ha ha! Excuse me, Flick, but no one's gonna help a bunch of ants. At least we could try. Oh, I could travel to the city, I could search there. And then it loops around to where, they say, leave the island? And then that just goes back to, why didn't I think of that? Oh, because it's suicide. She's right, we'd never leave the island. There are snakes and birds and bigger bugs out there. Exactly, bigger bugs. And that's why we need to have them come here and help us fight. And forever rid us of Hopper and his gang. And that's where the endless loop comes in. I remember now. It's just stupid. Why did I have to go on a ramble about that? I don't know, but it's just what I was thinking about at the time. I'm glad I could just break both of their shields just now, that's helpful. Okay. Pausing, because I had to remember that bombs exist. I wish that I could make this blow up faster without having to get out my arrows. Might as well get out my arrows, though, because I have plenty. I'm not going to bomb you yet, because I know that you're just going to reappear, you're going to reassemble yourself. Reassemble yourself like... marching band. I don't know. That certainly blew up in my face. But this is the room that I got stuck in. I had to leave the whole dungeon to get situated with. One of my times playing this game. And I think that this... yeah, this is a kill all enemies room. That's why I had to leave and come back. Because I had to have bombs. Alright, Link, stop bashing your head against the wall. That doesn't help anyone. I'm sure it helps you lose brain damage, but we want you to be the smart one here. We don't want you to get stumbled upon with... that's not the right phrasing. We don't want you to stumble through any more puzzles without knowing what to do. I do like some of the details in this dungeon, though. Just like these sticks with... I don't know what these are supposed to have on them. Like these spires with cube-shaped toasted marshmallows is what it looks like to me. Or maybe just cubes of beef. It's probably more accurately what they are. Or they're just designs.